We're super excited to be here. Obviously, coming off a really exciting weekend, getting through our home regional, and now it's about a 3-game series against Arkansas. And love that we're in this environment. Love that our players are playing their best this time of year, and just excited for what's ahead.
Questions for the student athletes. We'll start with everyone in the room. So Ethan, go ahead.
So yeah, Coach just said excited to play in this environment. How do y'all handle going into a road environment, knowing obviously a lot of stakes?
I think our main priority this weekend is to just stay within ourselves and not make it bigger than it needs to be. To continue to lean on the girls to the left and the right of us. We play our best when we are super just internal with our team, not worried about anything going on the outside of the stadium, and just keeping the main thing the main thing.
I love playing on the road. I think it's awesome. It makes it that more rewarding when we get a win, especially at a really good SEC school where the fans are going to be crazy. So I think we have always been a team that rises to the occasion. So it's going to be a fun weekend.
And all these for anybody who wants to take it. Just how do you maybe personally settle in a game that's going to have nerves, but how do you settle in whenever there's a game of this magnitude to not maybe feel those?
I think our preparation leading up to this point is a really good testament of where we are and what we're going to do. And I think we just are trusting in that, and we have all the confidence in the world to just play Duke softball regardless of where we're at.
Obviously, last weekend y'all were in an elimination type, scenario. What do you think y'all learned about yourselves getting through that, or was it something y'all knew all along that you could do?
I think we knew after the first day that we needed to play better. We knew this wasn't who we were. We had been playing really good competition all year. We knew that was going to come in to play sooner or later. So I think we needed to just hit a reset button and just take that into Sunday and keep playing our game.
Yeah, for those of you who have been to the Women's College World Series, just can you draw anything from that season that you remember what it took to get there? Because also a road series that year, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it took a lot of Duke softball. That's it. When we play Duke softball, that's what we'll end up having the results that we want. Just being us, being free, having confidence, just playing the way we are.
She says Duke softball. What does Duke softball mean to y'all?
Duke softball to me is just everybody playing free, everybody playing united, nobody valuing their own personal successes over the team's overall success. And I think just being our goofy selves, taking the field, dancing in between innings, having fun pregame, messing around, kind of doing everything that gets us in the right headspace. Because I think for us, fun and competitiveness go hand in hand. I think there are some teams where it's all work, but for us, I think we have to have a little bit of fun in there too.
Maybe Cassidy, if you'll take this one, and then one of you two take the other one. Just what stands out about Arkansas when you look at them?
I think obviously they're here for a reason. I think that they're a competitive team. I think they have a lot of fight. I think they have a good pitching staff, and I think they have a good hitting hitting lineup. So I think it's going to be a chess match, and I'm really excited to just go out there and play the game, let our hitters find their groove and work on their game plan, and our pitchers just go out there and do what we've been doing all season.
Anything stand out to either of you? Different?
I know there's a lot of talk about their pitching staff and what they have to offer. I think our offense is really, really good, and I think their pitching is really, really good. So I think it's going to be a battle of who's on that day and who's off. That's really what it comes down to. So that's what stands out to me.
Yeah, I think the best thing about when you get late in the postseason is it is just a chess match and a fun matchup. You're inevitably going to get punched. It's how quickly you're able to respond and punch back, and minimizing damage when it happens, and just going out there and giving it all you got. Because at the end of the day, everybody's we're pretty equally matched. I think it's going to be a really fun series.
Cassie, having worked with Parker, just what's that dynamic like for you this week? I'm sure that's kind of weird.
Yeah, honestly, I love Parker with my whole heart. I think he's a great coach and an even better person. I'm excited to see him. I'm excited to be here. There's no animosity. There's no weird feelings. I'm excited to see him. I'm excited to heckle him as our first base coach. But yeah, there was no hard feelings. I'm really excited to see him so happy and valued, and it just makes me really happy that he's somewhere that he loves to be.
Yeah, that seems like maybe a similarity between these two programs is that, I mean, you can just feel from y'all how much everybody likes each other. You can tell with them. What does that do for a series like this going into it? Know that, on both sides, it's two programs that really care about each other, and there's going to be just a good competitive spirit, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think there is that competitive spirit, and I think if you can, obviously we want to win the series and go to the Women's College World Series, but outside of that, it's just two phenomenal teams that are doing great things for the sport of softball, and I know a lot of the Arkansas girls, and I'm really proud of how they represent our sport and how they have helped elevate our game to be what it is today, and I'm excited to take the field with them. Yeah, I think if you take the winning and losing out of it, I'm just really happy to know a lot of those girls and to see their successes, not this weekend, but but overall as a team.
Which ones do you know, and do y'all have any sort of friendships either?
Yeah, Jess and I played with Wiki, Kaylee, over there. We played with her in Canada over the summer. Aminah and I played with Reagan.
Natalia.
Yeah.
I played against Tiana Bell growing up, so I know her a little bit. But great people. I mean, at the end of the day, we're representing the sport in the right way. We play the game with class, and I think that's the most important thing, especially with all the supers and OKC and how much coverage that gets. I think it's really good for our sport.
Aminah and Cassie, is it weird that y'all are like now? I think y'all faced each other. You talk about Talia and Reagan whenever y'all were all freshmen, and now it's like, I don't know. Have y'all kept up with each other's careers, and what's it like seeing y'all be in big stages like this, this many years down the road? It was in Clearwater, right? That y'all played, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really fun we kind of started our freshman careers playing against each other, and now we're all ending our senior years playing against each other. And I think it's really fun, really full circle. They've had great careers. We've had pretty good careers ourselves. So I think it's just really fun to see how we all came from a similar program and we're able to elevate the game in our own respective universities. I think that's really cool to see everybody.
Yeah, we played on the same travel ball team with Reagan and Natalia, so it's cool to be a full circle moment and be right here for our senior year, just playing against them again, just on different teams.
Yeah, and all three is just experienced players. How does this postseason maybe feel differently compared to whenever you were a freshman and the nerves that I'm sure came with that?
Yeah, I think for me, definitely different. I mean, freshman year, when you come in and you're playing and you go to a Super Regionals, it's a little bit it's stressful, a little bit more pressure, but I think pressure builds diamonds, and I think right now we are in a really good place, and we are all upperclassmen, most of us, so it puts us at a higher advantage and just allows us to go out there and just compete and play who we are.
Yeah, I think it's fun more than anything. I think this feels a lot like our sophomore year when we traveled on the road and went to Mizzou. But I think one of the things we've talked about as a team is your brain doesn't know the difference between nerves and excitement. They both feel the same. It's kind of just the attribute that you tie to it mentally. So I think if we can flip that switch and just be really, really excited to be here, just excited to play, excited to take the field. We don't know when the last game we're going to play with each other is, so just taking the field every time like it could be our last, I think is something that we do, and we just value every single time we get to step on the field with each other. We ended our last home practice yesterday. They all blend. Yesterday, we ended our last practice at our home field, and kind of the seniors just took a second to be like, wow, this is it, just savoring every moment that we can, and I think doing that here and doing it in Oklahoma City.
Is it important this time of year to block out a little bit of I'm sure you get probably a little sappy thinking about a lot of first lasts, but how important is that to just be able to maybe separate the emotions that come with this with just preparation that you've done your whole lives?
Yeah, I think one of the most important things is that every single player on this team is playing in the moment. We live pitch by pitch, and we preach that over and over again. So I think if we continue to do that, we're setting ourselves up for success, and we're in a good position because we're not worried about the sad or the happy. We're just worried on what we're going to do next and just focusing on minute by minute.
Yeah, and I don't think any of us are taking the field really sad that this could be the last moment. I think we're just maybe less of pressure and more of a privilege. We get to take the field with these girls and we get to be here, and kind of just flipping the mentality of it's a privilege to be here and play on this level and to be an example to younger girls who maybe came from cities like we did where softball wasn't a main sport. So yeah, I think using it as an opportunity.
Do we have any questions on Zoom for the student athletes? All right. Thank you, ladies. You're good to go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We will take questions for Coach now. Ethan, you can get us started.
Coach, just entering the postseason with clearly just such veteran leaders. How does that feel different from maybe years in the past? Just knowing what you have right here.
Yeah, I think we as a coaching staff really had to do the bulk of the leading the first time around because it was so new to all of them. And this year we've really been able to step back, and it's almost a stay out of their way because they have it mentality. And these upperclassmen, they want it so bad. They're leading so well. They're performing so well. It feels a lot different.
What do you think this weekend will be the separator? Like, what will it all boil down to?
I really think it's going to come down to keeping your composure. As they said, you're going to get punched, right? You're playing two great teams. Things aren't going to go your way all the time, every time. And so your ability to just maintain composure, reset, regroup, and get after the next pitch or play is key. And I feel like we've had to do that a lot this year. I think this team prides itself on they haven't lost a series yet all year in conference play. Every 3-game series we've had a loss, but we've bounced back from that. So this weekend, really working to just see it as another series that we want to come away with.
Yeah, a bunch of seniors on both sides. Just how do you think that plays into this series this weekend, having that much experience on both sides?
I think it really levels up the chess match that the girls mentioned we're going to face because there is a lot of experience. Nerves probably aren't going to be a factor for those veterans. And so just, we've done a lot of homework as a coaching staff to be as prepared as possible so that we can, give ourselves the best chance in this chess match.
Do you feel the players may be a little bit looser now that they have that so much experience to lean back on?
Experience, but also the challenges that our team has faced this season have really lended itself to let's play free because we know we can overcome really hard things. And I felt that from them on Sunday especially. We lost on Saturday, which wasn't expected, but they came right back Saturday night with a decisive run rule, assert their authority. So I knew going into Sunday they have this. And as long as they continue to play with that belief and confidence, they're a pretty scary team.
What other challenges has this team overcome throughout the year?
We've had a lot of injuries. We've had 10 newcomers, and I think it took a little while. We had a slow start trying to figure out where those pieces needed to be. We had some injuries at the beginning of the season, which moved people around to different positions, and so it took some time for them to settle in and gel and really come together. But once they have, it's been great.
Yeah, talking about just taking a little bit of time, what has this team become over the last maybe month or so whenever it's gotten, everybody wants to play their best as you get toward the end of the season?
Yeah. I think that each of them really understand what their focus needs to be to perform their best. And so while it's very an individual approach, they are also very collective as a team. And as they spoke about, they're such a tight-knit group. They feed off of each other's confidence, but they also know how to talk to each other as teammates. They know what information to give each other. They know when to pick a teammate up. And it's just belief up and down the lineup. And I think that we've had such good production from everybody in the lineup that nobody feels the pressure that they have to be the one every time to get the job done. And so it's that pass the bat mentality. It's the pass the ball in the circle because we're pitching as a staff. And I think that frees them up to be themselves.
Two different type of scenarios, but you and Courtney Deifel have both had to build programs. You quite literally.
Yeah.
But do you find any sort of similarities just when you look at maybe your two paths and what it's taken to get your programs in a place where y'all expect to be playing this time of year?
Yeah, I mean, I give Courtney a lot of credit. I have a lot of respect for her and what she's done to build Arkansas to what it is. And I think that while it's been different, similar paths, it's like invest in the people, stay true to your core values, right? And recruit the right kids to your program that are going to help continue your culture and then develop them to be successful. And I think we've both done that in our own ways.
Yeah, what stands out about this Arkansas team? What jumps off the film?
I think you said it, the pitching staff is elite, and so for us just continuing to do what we've done all year of staying disciplined and staying confident in our plan to go execute. we may not have success right the first time through the lineup, but this team has shown they can adjust the second time through. So things like that of just staying in the fight regardless of the outcome.
Now, I mean, you have Parker on staff with you for a year. What stood out about that you're getting to work with him, and maybe how does his brain work as a coach?
I think he's just a great players coach. Gets to know the players, has a lot of fun with them, but he also knows when to get onto them. He has a great eye for the little things, so just being in the details, he's really good at.
What did you learn last week in that elimination type situation? I know you mentioned on Saturday getting to get a commanding victory out, but to have to wake up the next day and know what's in front of you and do it.
I mean, we've talked about how tough this team is all year, and that was obviously the biggest stage and the biggest moment with their backs literally against the wall. It's win or go home. I felt that they played the most free and relaxed and confident that I've seen from them all year, and to me that said a lot about who they are.
And like I asked them, just what should people know about Duke softball? What is it?
I think they are an elite group of women that have come to a really unique place where everything's hard. Nothing's handed to us. People, regardless of how much success we've had, they still don't get the credit they deserve. It's really tough in the classroom. They are excelling off the field as well. A lot of them are late to practice because they're doing job interviews this week. I mean, they are excelling in all areas of life, and it's really tough to do, but it's also so rewarding to see the sacrifices that they make, and they have it all. They're getting great degrees. They're putting Duke softball on the map and doing it in a really unique way.
Do we have any questions on Zoom for Coach? All right, thank you.
Thanks.